let's do some more hands-on here. We've got a couple cases. We're going to start with just Carolyn. So I'm going to this will help you kind of visualize what
Have you covered indirects with Vago, or are you going to?
indirects with Vago.
Inlays on those?
I haven't, no.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would design those without Exocad.
That's true.
Like Blue Sky.
Mesh mixer.
I know. So we're going to work on Carolyn L. All right, so we're going to drop all 3 models into model editing. So when you drop all 3 models in, you're going to get an option to say which one do you want to align. And so we're going to choose the upper model. We're going to choose the yellow model. So if you look here, I brought in 3 models for this case. One was an upper iTero, the green is a lower iTero, and the blue is an upper PVS impression that I scanned with the box scanner. And so this is going to be how you can add some vestibule data to your scene so that you can actually make a denture that goes up to the vestibule. So we're gonna align using the yellow model. We're gonna say it's maxilla. It's got teeth, and then we're gonna help align it. So, the software says click a right molar. Well, she doesn't have right molars. The point of what the software is trying to do is to find a horizontal plane. So you can click the palatal cusp of this premolar, and then click the midline, and then click the palatal cusp of the next premolar, because you're really giving it two horizontal reference points so that it now knows where the horizontal plane is on this patient. Does that make sense? Okay, so everyone should get a screen that looks something like this. Now, the reason why...
We have to do each one from that?
No.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, just that yellow model, you aligned it.
How did it import all 3 of those if you just imported the yellow one?
So I drag and dropped all 3 of these models in at the same time.
Yeah.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
And so when you drop in 3 models, it's going to ask you to align one of them. And it's just going to say which one's her upper arch only. So I only aligned the yellow model.
And then it just automatically puts everything else in relation to how you aligned it.
Yep.
So that you have a straight-on view of what
Yep.
you're looking at.
Yep.
Okay.
So the yellow and the green were taken in an iTero. So it knows that the green was taken in this bite with this yellow. But then what's this blue model? So this blue model was scanned using a desktop scanner. So that's this upper impression right here. So this is my 3rd model. So because you can see with an iTero scan, there's no vestibule, right? So if I were to make a denture off of this, that's the extent of with which I could actually draw my denture borders, is to right here. That's just, it's not going to give you a ton, especially once I cut these teeth off. That's just going to be really shallow. And so that's why I scanned this. But now we've got to align this impression.
Does everybody understand that impression too? It's like the inverse of an impression. It's really weird to look at that and think that's an impression, right? The blue, because it's like the inverse of the impression, right?
Yeah. Well, it's just a stone model.
Yeah, well, but it gives you your intaglio as well, though, all in one. It's the teeth plus it's all the wash on the inside, because it's both sides of it all at the same time. Do you get what I mean? The blue.
Oh, it's not a stone model. You
No.
scanned the impression in the
Yes.
box scanner.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
So
okay.
it gives you the teeth plus it gives you the other side. It gives
Yeah,
you
I
both
get it.
sides.
It's
like
just a
all in
denture,
one.
basically.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
But it's odd to think of it as an impression. It's not how you think about impressions, right? Anyway, it is for me. I had to kind of think of it differently.
Yeah, because when you look at it like this, you're like, oh, I see the impression. It's an impression. You scanned an
It
impression.
gives you the other side of it too,
Yes.
all in one,
It's double-sided.
which is odd. Yeah, it's strange when I first saw that.
Yeah.
Wait, now I'm confused. How did you get the other side of it?
You're just flipping it because it's the same thing. It's just a skin.
Yeah, it's just
Isn't the other side of it the impression tray?
no, it's the material. It goes all the way down inside. It's just giving you the other side of the material. Like it's giving you all of it in one. Right? It gives you the teeth, but it gives you the intaglio all in the same thing.
You still want to align them?
But
You want to align them? Point align them?
yeah, point align them. Yeah,
It doesn't really
just
give
like
you
that.
The other side. It just shows you where the intaglio ends, and that's what you're seeing on the other side. Because the other side is actually like a green impression tray. Correct?
So imagine this was your impression that you took,
Uh,
and you put it in a box scan, and you told it was an impression.
yeah.
It knows, and then it just flips it. It does the inverse. Hard to,
It gives you all the teeth. It just gives you everything, right?
yeah. Like
You just can't look at it from underneath. That's
Yeah,
what
I
we
get
normally
it.
see. We
I
can't
get
see
it,
the
I
other
get it.
side.
I
So
get
it's
it.
just odd to look at the other side. For me, it was. It was confusing to think, wait a minute, that's an impression. Because you never see it like that.
So-
you always see a tray over it.
So watch this. So in Mesh Mixer, it actually knows which is the active surface, right?
Yeah.
And so if I select and I double click this whole model here, and I go to modify, and the term is called flip normals. Am I missing that? Edit.
Could be polarity too. Yeah, there it was an edit.
Was it? Am I
Yeah,
missing it?
normals
Flip
at the
normals.
bottom, yeah.
So when you flip normals, now do you see what it did? So this is actually the impression.
Yeah.
You follow that?
Yeah.
So what the software does, because I told it I was scanning an impression, it did what's called flip normals. It scanned this, but then it flipped it upside down, and it made a model.
You
So-
just poured it up.
Yeah, it poured it up. It digitally poured it up. Is that essentially what it did?
You can just look at both sides of it. You can never do that before.
Right.
On a model.
Right.
So it's just odd to have those different views in space
Yeah.
that we weren't used to.
Yeah.
It's two realities come together at once.
Yeah.
Yes.
Worlds colliding.
Right.
Black Mirror stuff.
But it's kind of cool that you can do that.
Yep.
Now you just align that to the
Yep.
blue to the yellow.
So everyone should be in the model editing module on the upper right. You should see a model manipulation panel on the right.
Hey, Matt, before you do that,
Yeah.
I have all three models up, but are we supposed to align?
Y-
He's gonna do that now.
Yeah. So you should have this blue one should be not in a relationship yet.
It's just sitting on top of all of them.
Yeah.
So you just do yellow and align to blue.
Yep. So you're going to do blue to yellow.
Yeah.
So we're going
Go backwards.
yeah.
And then you'd be like, wait a minute, I just flipped
Yeah. You'd move.
blue.
So you're going to do blue to model, and this time we want to do it to the yellow, and then select align using points.
It won't auto stitch that?
No, because remember the yellow and the green know where each other are, but the blue was taken elsewhere. So,
The blue's the exact same thing as the yellow.
oh, to do like an automatic?
Won't it auto stitch that?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
I think it's because it's
Yeah, an automatic is only STL to DICOM.
oh,
It's not STL to STL.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's odd.
That's
I
weird.
didn't think that. All right.
So we're going to go blue, align to model. We're going to align it to the yellow model, and this time we're going to check use points. And you guys should get a left and a right here. So in this view, what I suggest doing is rotate both models here so that you're looking at them in a similar view. So let's drag this out here, and everybody take a second to kind of get these things rotated, because what we're going to do is we're going to click common points on both of these scans here so that they can line up.
It's so weird the software can be so smart when it just can't even align an STL to STL.
I know.
Align everything else real easy, but
I know.
Sorry.
I know.
It seems so strange.
So go ahead and shift click points that are common, like very common between both models. It doesn't really matter where. You could do cuss tips, you could do whatever. And just pick a handful. So I'm going to go like, here, right there, and there. You could do there. You could go on this central incisor, distal incisal cusp. There and there. I'll go right on the canine.
And you're blowing them up bigger to get more detail?
Yeah. Yep.
To get more of an exact spot?
Yep. And remember when you click and hold your scroll wheel, that's how you can slide models.
How many points are we doing here?
I would just say here's how many I did. 4. I'll put one more back here. So 5 will do it. So you should have 5 common points now between these two models. Wherever you want to put them, it doesn't really matter. And when you hit OK, now this blue model should be stitched well with your lower model.
You have to have 5 of them instead?
No, you don't. I mean, you could have 3 in a triangle, but just some enough to give it common points. But does everybody understand why we did that? We took an itero model. It gave us our bite registration. And then we stitched the impression model to the teeth of that so that now that impression model is the one we want, and now it's stitched to the opposing. Because now if I go in and I can just turn off my upper iteroscan, the yellow one, and now we're left with this. And this is ultimately what we want. We want something we can build an upper denture on that's mounted in occlusion.
The whole purpose of this is just because the itero sucks at scanning the vestibule.
The whole purpose, yep. And
you needed to capture that overextension so you can make a denture.
So you can make a denture, yep. Now, as I mentioned earlier, sometimes if you want to be lazy, use the itero and get as much as you can, build it as high as you can, and then reline it. But I typically like to go with this method. Does everyone have the blue stitched to the green? No. Okay. Coming around. Okay. Okay, sweet. So you're going to go, okay, so that's correct. So you want to tell the green, check, to align to a model, to the blue, yep. And then this one you want to select align using points. Okay. So now you're going to rotate both of these and find common views. So get your orientation of where you're at here. It's kind of hard to learn, what buttons do you click.
Yeah. As long as it's real close, right? It's not like this has to be
Correct, yeah.
pretty, right? It
Correct. It's not, this isn't as accurate, needing to be as accurate.
That's so awful. That's so funny.
Like an automat. I know.
Because it'll do it to DICOM so easy.
I know.
And you're like, oh, just match it to the yellow. I thought for sure you're just going to go in there and have all the teeth and all the references and just go, oh, okay.
I know.
Funny.
It is funny.
And if you did automatic, what would it say? Can't do it? It'll just tell you can't do it.
That's a good question. Don't know. You could try it. Automatic's not even an option in there.
Oh, it isn't?
I guess if you went to
model.
it's because you don't have a DICOM in there.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. That's the quick and dirty version. I like it. So you just did 3 points. There you go. And now it said, okay, took that green and it stitched it to the blue. And you can see the overlapping of colors, so you feel good about, okay, it's close. Now if you go into your surfaces and you visible and you uncheck the blue.
And hit. Oh, visible.
Yep. And now that blue's gone. So we don't need that blue anymore. Now we have the green. That's what we wanted to get to, is that mounted. So we basically just mounted that.
Stitching them together like that.
So we had a blue and a yellow model, right? And that was your itero scan, but you didn't have any vestibule on that.
Right.
So you captured a vestibule impression and got that digital, but now you had to link it to the, you had to use those common points to link it to the itero scan or the intraoral, now that you have an opposing and a bite with your vestibule scan.
Okay.
So it was all just to be able to get a vestibule scan, opposing, your opposing, and mounted together.
Okay.
So now we're mounted.
Okay.
Yep.
So, Matt,
Yeah.
this impression that has
Yep.
Race
Yeah, we're hoping you
we
can.
don't know if it's gonna automatically do that inversion.
Correct. Yes.
That's what we need to figure
So
out.
that's what you need to figure out, and I'll work with Brady too, and maybe try to follow up with you guys and make sure that's working well, that it's scanning, and
We'll
that
get
it,
it figured out.
and then it's yeah.
I just haven't put any effort into it. It hasn't been on my priority list.
So, we talked about
But if it doesn't, is that something to do on this?
it is, and actually in Blue Sky. So let me show you that really quick because let's.
No, I thought you were just talking about using the race scanner.
Oh, I'm saying his
So
table
now you just get rid of the yellow?
made this
So
filled in the like.
yeah, and let me show you this really quick too, because you guys might run into this, and this is a cool feature. So Blue Sky has this feature called model reversal. So this is digitally pouring up. So here's an impression, right? Let's just say we wanted to draw a curve. I can go around here, and I'm going to just digitally pour up this model. And I'm telling it a curve to do. So if you guys got this, and you see how it says create inverted model, I can click this, and it's an open model, so it's not going to work here. But you get the point of where you can digitally pour up or reverse a model and make like a stone model from it. So I don't want to continue with that, but it will let me do close model. And see how this doesn't have a base on it? I can add a base just like if you were adding a stone base by closing the model. And this will do a little.
This looks like your traditional model.
Yeah. Now it'll close it. So now you guys see what I just did there? How I just closed the model basically with a stone base. So you can do that if you want to do that.
You don't need to.
You don't need to. No. Nope.
It's just not you. That's what you're used to looking at. You're not used to looking at
Yeah.
inverse relation, all the inverse both sides of it on one sheet. It's
Yep.
strange to think of it like that.
Yep.